If you watch Domir first, then you know how to socialize normally with smarts of basically the disadvantages you have. If you have if the disadvantages, which is you watch skip. If you watch this first, then basically you have advantages that basically you know how to interact with people that you have met. Either not duality, well yes duality, and we'll say duality because that's the best thing, best shape that I could think of. Let's say yin yang for now, not duality, but yin yang is the best shape. And then the best one is that basically for others you also have advantage when it's crystal, which is good to know too. Um, um, which is both good. Now, is there disadvantages? They said the disadvantage is no. The disadvantage is if you watch both, then basically you will like depressed people, but you don't know why you like depressed people. So when you like depressed people, it will basically make something that we call expression space of Chrysler, which is uh which is different. So basically the expression space will be a disadvantage because what you express is basically um what you express, I'm still getting there. I didn't mean to interrupt. Basically, what you express is basically how people will have emotional bonds about you, and that is an advantage if you express in the right way. If they have they have bad emotional bonds about you, then those will be negative points, not on Chrysler, not on duality, but um uh but on what's the word? It's not that on your vessel. There will be disadvantages on your vessel. Now, what your vessel, if you talk to your vessel personally, then it could help personally. If it doesn't help personally, then your vessel could do any things, whatever. When your vessel does things personally, so you might be questioning what I'm saying. So basically, duality is that basically everything has a shape or yin yang. So it means you're balancing forces between people. They said Chrysler is just basically the internet, and basically what people say on the internet. Which you might still be saying what I'm saying because it's just a social network between people. But I'm just saying for normal, like just they said, um, so like it's just that like it gives you this, it basically gives you disadvantages emotionally because basically why? Because because like okay because you live on no it's not because you live on the internet. It's that it could be because you live on the internet, or it could be that basically okay so so let me go back. So let me describe. So your your mind is good. Yin and yang is fine. They said Chrysler. So you have an advantage in basically your mind. You have a disadvantage in duality. So basically, is it? They said basically, you know, you have your mind. So basically, it's your basis of what you think. So that encoded signals in your mind. So if it only encoded signals in your mind, but if it didn't encode signals, but if it did encode signals, then your mind encoded signals about what things around you. Not, it's just basically what's around you, which is basically how you see things. which is normal because that's how normal things work. It's not like that because it's like basically it's what you're seeing, which is good. It's just that basically it's what you it's basically what it's not. I shouldn't talk to Russia like that, but it's fine. Now it's on this district, but it's fine. I love saying the word district, which is gay, because that will literally get me caught one day. But it's fine. Um, um, is that the day? We're not gonna talk about that. If he finds me, I am gonna die. But, um, basically, they said I've already heard the book. Am I already dead? They said basically, if you already have some version of basically what you learned, you're not gonna expect something else. But if it's for an adult, basically you already expected it. So if you already seen it, but you've seen what you've seen. So what you've seen is what you've seen. So basically you've seen it, so your brain has an advantage to see what you've seen in the real world. But you have a disadvantage in the real world. Make sense? So your brain can already learn from these things, but you have a disadvantage in the real world. But the thing is, when you do stuff that you know in the real world, it's good. Now, the thing is, when basically Chrysler exists, which is basically the internet and you, the question is, what does that mean? It means it is a shape that is created through the internet. Then basically you have a disadvantage, which basically is sound. We're not talking about sound because it has to do with sound, because the sound is very important, because it literally has everything to do with, it's not with their mind, it's with basically what they think they're doing, which is important. Um, it's not that they think it's what they're doing, it's what they are doing. So what they're doing is basically what they're doing. So if they say something like lie or say something that's not true, basically they say something that is basically what they're supposed to be doing, or what they're supposed to be doing. But if they say it's not true, basically they say it's not true, then basically they what do? They basically do and act like they're on the ground, so they're on the ground then. So if you say something bad, then they're on the ground doing something bad. If you say something good, they're doing something good and doing something good. But are they still on the ground? Yes, they are mentally still on the ground. Um, if they, but are they physically on the ground? So if you lie to them, will they be on the ground? They said yes. If you say the truth to them, will they be on the ground? Yes. But you have to tell them what you're doing first, which is important. Now, if you say something bad and then you call it a lie, but they don't know it's a lie, they'll probably just roll with it, which is totally fine. And if you have a disadvantage of that, that is where I'm gonna die. So if I was in that situation, I would probably just act like I'm doing the normal thing, and basically go along with what they're doing, and basically say I'm the best and do the best things, what is good for me. And if I have bad things that are bad, then I should basically just say, oh, they're bad, what should I do with it? If I was working alone, then I would just work alone, which I normally do. And I don't know why I would see bad things, but if I saw bad things, then basically I would do my work and basically say what we need to do about the bad things and basically what they do. If that wasn't existent, then I would just basically go and, what would I do? They said, no, I would basically go and basically just find what I need to do and just live as an ordinary citizen, and basically ask them for basically basic research so I can do basic research on basic parts. And if that basic parts, it would be basic parts for basically research of what? Basically how to make good things, how to do research on they said, how do I do it? So I do research on things that I need to be researching on basically the good things, which I basically need to be doing. and the good things they know is basically the people I work with. So then we'll be a mail delivery service, so we're working on mail delivery service. Which sounds okay, but the thing is, the mail delivery service is only okay if we're working together. So we'll see how that goes. So if I was working alone, I would work alone. If I worked with the mail delivery service, I would start working with other people, and the mail delivery service would start working with other people. So if I didn't have mail delivery service, I couldn't get what I needed first. So someone had to just start as mail delivery service. So if someone didn't start as mail delivery service, I would just say, okay, I am basically gonna ask myself to mail this to myself to say I'm a mail delivery service man. Deliver this mail to myself to get me working. I started working here. They said, alright, and I guess I'll just do my research.